In 1972, the world was in chaos. The Watergate scandal was rampant. Calder Park was being established as a typical secondary school. And perhaps most importantly, a future drama teacher and legend, Scott Sprague, was born.
Nope. Can we talk about something important to us? Talk about important stuff? Theater stuff? Like what happened 4 years before?
Oh, you mean when theater Passe Muraille was established in 1968, eventually grew in size and were performing in barns and streetcars and getting donations so their ticket prices were really cheap and doing field research and writing plays about cows and—
Whoa. Jesus. Sure, but we're supposed to be breaking it down, so people can understand it.
Oh, I gotcha.
No, not what I meant. Oh, boy.
Well, this is gonna get real cringy real fast. I hope none of you are permanently scarred or anything.
Who are you talking to?
1968.
Right.
Theater Passe Muraille.
The idea of it came about through a bunch of idealistic students.
At the University of Toronto.
U of T.
These students had an idea for what they wanted society to be.
They wanted a society that didn't care about money.
About class.
They envisioned and wanted a society where the arts were valued more than money. They wanted people to forget about the money in a job and just to do what they loved.
Which was, for most people at the time, the arts.
But people didn't do that. People were taking jobs they hated because there was no money in the arts.
And these students wanted to change that. They wanted theater to be visible.
They wanted to bring it beyond the walls.
Get it? Because it's the name of the theater. But they made it French because they wanted to be edgy.
And also there's a play about a guy who can walk through walls. It's French. Anyway.
So, where does it start?
Like, where does it truly start?
Early mid-60s.
Why don't you throw a late in there? Early mid-late 60s. Be as vague as possible.
Well, the theater was developed throughout the 60s, but they were officially established in 1968. More on that later.
Okay, let's get back on topic. In the beginning.
Theater Passe Muraille was first a group of what society would have called at the time radical.
Why were they radical?
Because they were radical, dude!
No, they were considered radical because they were a bunch of UFT dropouts that didn't believe in what society valued at the time. Get your education, get out, get a job, which you probably won't enjoy, get paid and try to survive.
They wanted to have jobs, but they wanted to do something important. Not just be another link in the chain.
They wanted to let their spirits and passion
for stuff like the arts
dominate and do something with their lives that meant something.
AKA the 60s motto.
Exactly. They wanted their work to go beyond the walls of the theater. They wanted theater to be local.
So they could reach real people
with real stories.
About local, real heroes.
Yippee! So, how did they get these stories and messages out to the public?
Well, funny you should ask.
Well, since they wanted to get their stories and messages to a variety of peoples and audiences, they started off by doing a lot of pop-up and guerrilla theater.
Was there any other reason they started with pop-up theater, other than the fact they wanted to reach a variety of audiences?
Yep. They wanted the way that they performed and presented their theater to draw attention to the important and relevant issues of the time.
So how did they go from performing on the streets to performing in the theater?
Ooh, I know. Can I tell them?
Go for it.
So, after doing pop-up theater on the streets, they decided to upgrade to coffee houses.
'Cause hipster.
And then to local student meeting spots like Coach House Theater.
Because students/young people were probably more interested and were probably the more important group of people to get the message across because they were the future.
Sorry, I'd just like to interject for a moment. It was Coach House Theater to them, but Coach House Institute to the U of T and the rest of the city.
Okay.
After either some of the group dropped out or graduated from U of T, they went on to perform to rudimentary venues, buildings that the city couldn't afford to tear down.
Once again, just to remind y'all, they chose these venues so they could make theater local and affordable for all.
And also because they were kind of broke and couldn't afford anything else.
Ooh, which reminds me, so long story short, there was this really cool politician/mayor of Toronto at the time named John Sewell. Really cool guy, supporter of the arts, kind of hippie, rode his bicycle to work, cool with the kids and the youth.
Get to the point.
Right. He heard about these radical youths and how they wanted to make a difference, but were kind of struggling to establish themselves because they didn't have a proper venue. So himself and a few other really important people we'll talk about later, and a lot of radical students from universities and colleges like Rochdale College came together to establish themselves at an old bakery/candle factory at 16th Ryerson Avenue.
Ooh.
Ah.
Ew.
where they still are today.
And have been for 50 years.
Well, 50 years in 2018. Oh, and might I add that for those almost 50 years, their mandate still states
They
that
wanted to develop and produce innovative and provocative Canadian theatre and nurture new and established artists and companies.
Also, they especially wanted to emphasize on diversity and Canada's intercultural society.
Know it all?
Why, you little...
So, who were the other really important people you were talking about earlier that helped establish Theatre Passe Muraille?
Jim.
Would you stop doing that? It was first established and founded by Jim Gerard, 1968.
He was a big promoter of theater not relying on location. You didn't need to be in a studio to perform.
Plus, he wanted to only feature Canadian plays.
So, unlike Soul Pepper?
Shh, let them be sellouts if they want to.
I think you'd both better stop before we get murdered.
Anyway, you knew he was a fan of the whole not needing a studio to perform thing because he said, there should be no walls of preconception about what theater could be. Producing plays that are new and different and thought-provoking is what's important, to explore new models. What do you want? He was a hippie.
Should we also mention the fact that he and the majority of the company left and resigned due to financial crisis? The first of several that the theater would wither.
Yeah, but
We should also mention it was mostly due to the fact that they wanted to keep their theater affordable to all by making their money through a pay-what-you-can mentality.
right. Now back to significant people.
Specifically, memorable artistic directors at Theatre Passe Muraille, like
Martin Kinch,
1969 to 1971.
who headed an artistic triumvirate that included playwright John Palmer and...
most importantly, Paul Thompson, who took over in 1972.
Ooh, can I talk about him?
And can I talk about the sort of sequel to his play The Farm Show called The Drawer Boy?
Yes and yes.
Cool.
Okay,
So he was
so it has
influential
toast
in
and
the
basically
research in the theater.
everything.
Hold on. Paul Thompson, then toast.
Paul Thompson was artistic director from 1972 to 1981, the longest time anyone has been an artistic director at Theatre Passe Muraille. He was originally a playwright and was born on May 4th, 1940 in PEI. Thompson was known for pioneering techniques of collective creation in which actors, playwrights, and directors would collaborate on the creation of a play through field research and acting improvisations.
Zahra?
Plays on which Thompson was credited as a primary or collaborative writing during this era include The Farmer's Revolt in 1973, I Love You, Baby Blue in 1975, Far as the Eye Can See in 1977, and Maggie and Pierre in 1980. He studied at the universities of Western Ontario, Paris, and Toronto.
And most importantly, The Farm Show in 1972. Thompson sent a group of actors out to rural southwestern Ontario to work with farmers and give them an authentic environment to write about. Then he literally forced them to write a play about it. Cows and everything.
It complied with their mandate.
Complied?
I'm trying, okay? Anyway, it was one of the first of their authentic, grass-fed, organic Canadian plays.
I'm the one who knows everything about this guy, and y'all are laying it down thick.
Now back to Paul Thompson.
He directed at Centaur Theatre, Alberta Theatre Projects, Blythe Festival, and Native Earth Performing Arts, among many others. From 1987 to 1991, he was Director General of the National Theatre School of Canada and was involved with the renovations of the Monument National and initiating a playwrights and directors program there.
Can I talk about toast now?
Not yet, but we need to break this information down a little.
Oh, wicka, wicka, poof, tss, poof,
No,
poof,
not what I meant. It was gross the first time you did it.
You never support my dreams.
Anyway, he is also taught at the Centre for Indigenous Theatre.
In 2008, he was named Officer of the Order of Canada for his contributions to Canadian theatre, particularly for bringing the stories of ordinary Canadians to the stage and for bringing theatre to rural communities and urban centres across the country.
In 2011, he was awarded the Governors General Performing Arts Award for Lifetime Artistic Achievement.
And he was the technical director first and moved up the ranks very quickly.
Ooh, finally! Can I talk about the toast and the memory thing?
Oh, sorry, we're running low on time, so maybe we should talk about another aspect of the theater that's shorter, possibly a little bit more current.
Oh, right. So, like always, and currently, they're still putting on a repertoire of work that is inclusive, eclectic, and representative of the city of Toronto.
Furthermore, other than currently maintaining a good relationship with the city, they also maintain a wonderful relationship with their staff, the artists, the audience, community, and the collaborators.
Who they collaborate with in order to achieve their visions and values that they have for themselves and other independent artists and institutions that they support.
And they're also still a champion of diversity. They strive to take chances and value risk as highly as success.
With some of their current shows like Sound of the Beast, Alien Creature, John and Waleed, and Stupid Head.
All of which are from Canadian artists that represent local theatre in Toronto.
About real people.
With real and relevant stories.
About local and real heroes.
Because they hear a call to push past barriers.
And do so by promoting the idea of being
bold and brave.
Open and inquisitive.
To be yourself in the community.
Hear from your neighbors.
Dare to be present.
Welcome to Theater Beyond Walls.
Consistently staging distinct experiences.
Okay, now can I talk about Toast?
No.
What? You never let me do what I want, honestly. This is
no, it doesn't make any sense. Don't worry about it.
Oh my god! Would you shut up about the toast? Theater Passe Muraille. Thank you for watching.